welcome to the Intel Brief, your daily intelligence briefing on global geopolitics. Today is Tuesday, 19 August. I'm your host Daniel, the founder of HM Intelligence, and every weekday we bring you not just the news, but the so what from the events and decisions that shape our world. So grab a coffee and get ready to be informed. In today's update, we're going to be covering Washington is allowing Ukraine to conduct long-range strikes, Georgia has broken up an election protest camp, and Germany has assumed sabotage after their Baltic Sea data cables have been damaged. So firstly, the Biden administration has approved Ukraine's use of US-supplied long-range missiles to target sites deep within Russia, marking a significant policy reversal. Previously, Washington had limited their use to occupied Ukrainian territories, fearing escalation with Russia. The change comes amid mounting pressures, including the arrival of North Korean troops to bolster the Ukrainian forces in the Kursk region, and concerns over the future of US support after the arrival of Donald Trump's election victory. The decision aims to strengthen Ukraine's position on the battlefield and provide leverage in potential peace talks, as Kiev continues to argue that restricting on targets hinders their military efforts. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has yet to confirm the development, but hinted at forthcoming military actions. The ATACMS rockets, or missiles, come with a range of 300 kilometers, which could allow Ukraine to strike critical military infrastructure, potentially impacting logistics and troop morale. While unlikely to be decisive on the battlefield, the move is seen as largely symbolic and heightening Western support. The development could also lead to Ukraine and France authorizing similar moves with their long-range missiles. However, the policy change carries risk, as Russian President Vladimir Putin has previously warned that such an action could escalate the conflict into direct NATO involvement. Critics of the previous US stance argue that restricting Ukraine's use of these weapons was unnecessary, as it's still self-defense. Despite the potential repercussions, this move signals a robust, though carefully calibrated, commitment to Ukraine's military resilience. So what? While Russia has claimed that this is a red line, this isn't the first time they have claimed this by a long shot. I think it's up to 15 at this point. It is likely that Russia is throwing their toys, as this move significantly impacts their operations, likely forcing them to move key supplies, units, and air assets further away from the Ukrainian border. It seems highly unlikely that Russia will use this to justify an attack against the West, as doing so would be almost suicide. And next, tensions in Georgia have escalated as police dismantled a protest camp in Tbilisi, where demonstrators had gathered to contest the results of October 26th parliamentary election, accusing the Moscow-leaning Georgian Dream Party of rigging the vote. Protesters, supported by opposition leaders, claim the election undermines Georgia's aspirations for EU membership. Violent clashes have occurred as police used force to disperse the protesters, with opposition leader alleging that party members and activists were beaten and detained. The Interior Ministry defended the operation, citing disruptions caused by the protest. Meanwhile, the current president filed a lawsuit to annul the election results, citing significant violations, further fueling political unrest. The election, which granted Georgian Dream Party 54% of the vote, according to the Central Election Commission, has been met with skepticism internationally, and both the EU and US have urged an investigation into the results. The controversy follows broader concerns over Georgia's democratic trajectory, especially after the EU suspended its membership application due to the passage of laws reminiscent of Russia's foreign agent legislation. These developments have deepened the divide between Georgia's pro-EU aspirations and fears of growing authoritarianism, sparking nationwide protests and refusal by opposition parties to recognise the parliament. So what? This was probably one of the wildest elections I've seen on the internet, with clear videos of ballot stuffing and voter intimidation. Regardless, though, it is unlikely that the Georgian Dream Party will give up control easily, if at all. It is more likely that there will be continued process until the next election, possibly resulting in violence. And lastly, German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius has attributed the damage to their Sea Lion 1 undersea data cable connecting Germany to Finland to likely sabotage, echoing suspicions surrounding another recently damaged cable in the Baltic Sea. The cable, at 1,173 kilometers long, was reportedly cut on Monday, though the disruption's effects on everyday connectivity are expected to be minimal. The incident occurred in the same maritime region as the Nord Stream pipeline sabotage in 2022, following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The defense minister and other officials, including Estonian defense minister, dismissed accidental causes, emphasizing the deliberate nature of these actions, which they labeled as hybrid warfare. While no evidence has yet been presented, there raises significant security concerns across Europe. The German foreign minister called for unity in facing these hybrid threats, which she described as a broader pattern, including cyber attacks and other incidents targeting critical infrastructure. Highlighting the seriousness of these threats, she noted the coincidence of cable damage alongside events such as parcel explosions and surveillance. A joint statement by the German and Finnish foreign ministries underscored how European security faces not just direct threats from Russian aggression in Ukraine, but also from malicious hybrid operations. So what? It is unsurprising that a hostile state such as Russia or China would want to target these undersea cables, as they are critical for basically everything we use in the modern world when it comes to communication. Though it is likely that they can easily be fixed, the disruption highlights the vulnerability these cables pose. Also, it seems likely that it is just another lever of the current geopolitical game being played out across Europe. Lastly, there is also a risk that a similar incident could occur on cables between the UK and Ireland, as a Russian ship was recently seen moving in strange patterns across these cables. Thank you for listening to the Intel Brief, your daily intelligence briefing on global geopolitics, brought to you by HM Intelligence. If you want to support the podcast, tell your friends to help them stay informed, and leave us a 5-star review. Or if you want to learn more about intelligence, why not take one of our courses? They're all online, self-paced and affordable. Thank you for listening. I've been your host Daniel, and I'll see you next time.